Welcome back, everybody. It's Eric here at Moss Pond. Just wanted to drop a quick video on you guys. As many of you know, we didn't really post a lot this last Sunday, so want to put up some videos. And I got to thinking, I thought a nice idea would be to show you my 5 guns. These are 5 guns that I think every American should own, or 5 types of guns. Not necessarily American, but anyone in general. I think that no handgun collection would be complete without some form of 22 caliber pistol. This is a Walther P22. Hopefully you can see this pretty well. Double action, single action, decocking mechanism, ambidextrous magazine release. Very nice little setup. I've always been a big fan of the Walther P22. You know, they are suppressor ready with the appropriate adapter. They have a reasonably good fit of the hand. Some of the larger frame shooters are going to complain about the small size of the frame, but for most people this is an excellent little setup. Definitely capable of taking small game, nice and handy, light, easy to carry around, and with the options for suppressing these, there's really no better choice in my opinion for a nice light, small 22 caliber handgun. If the evil black tactical type guns aren't your thing and you want to go with something a little more traditional, we've got the Ruger Mark III target pistol. This particular one is set up on the all steel frame that has the shape of the Luger type grip. That's real nice. They also make this gun that has a 45 type contour, and those are known as the 22-45s, and those are nice little guns. These things are very accurate. They're reasonably priced. Very good little pistols. This particular one is a pencil barrel, which is a lighter setup, much easier to point and shoot. In terms of options for suppressing these are a little bit more difficult to suppress. You have to have a specialized upper on it. But if you're not worried about noise and you want a nice little trail gun, this is a must on anyone's list for wanting a, just good solid little 22 caliber pistol. Moving down the line, I'm a very big supporter of the 38 Special and the 357 Magnum. This particular gun, this is a Smith & Wesson model 10-5. This is a double single action 38 caliber revolver with a 6-inch barrel. This particular one was made in 1977. This is a wonderful classic American firearm. Some people will complain about the size of the grip. There are different grips out there for them. But this is a wonderful revolver. These are great to take to the range, a good target revolver, very, very accurate. This is only, of course, a 38 Special. You can get the model, I believe it's the Model 14 Combat Masterpiece, and you get the Model 15 that's built on a heavier frame in a 357 Magnum. And of course you can shoot 38 Special in your 357 Magnum. Just make sure you clean the gun real well when you're done. Now, like I say, a revolver should definitely be in that, area of guns. If you want something a little more concealable, we've got the 642-2, which is a 5-shot 38 Special, double action only, internal striker fire mechanism. This particular one has a 2-inch barrel, and it's got the Trigicon front sight post. This is a sweet little gun. I highly recommend this if you want a good little carry piece. Sometimes you just feel like carrying a revolver, and this is a great option for that. These guns are great, and the prices on them can be a little high. These will run anywhere from about $600 to $650 in that ballpark. So not the cheapest option, but if you're only going to own one revolver and you want something that can double as a carry gun, this is an excellent choice. For those that are a little bit more traditional, like myself, I would personally, if I could only have one revolver, I'd go with either the Model 10 or the Model 15, or you can go with one of these Ruger New Vaquero single action only revolvers. Wonderful little setup, stainless steel frame. It's got the classic bird's head style grip, big extended stirrup for cocking the gun, and of course with a single action you have to cock the hammer for every shot. These are wonderful guns. This is chambered in the very effective 45 Colt cartridge. This is a great setup. If you're only going to have one revolver and you want a nice classic gun, you can't go wrong with a Vaquero. This is just a wonderful setup. The prices on them have actually kind of remained pretty static in recent years. You can pick these up for usually under $6 or well below that, depending on where you get them. This particular gun has a 4.5-inch barrel, but you definitely got to have some kind of revolver. So that's number 2. Those are my choices. That's what I would like to have. Out of these 3 that I showed you, if I could have any other one besides that, it would definitely either be a 686 or 629 from Smith. You can't go wrong with any Smith & Wesson or Ruger revolver. Not to say that I'm not a fan of other revolvers, but those are just the ones that have a special place in my heart. They're just wonderful setup. Of course, one of the guns that I think everybody should have is either a Gen 3 or a Gen 4 Glock 19. All right, and I hate to keep pushing Glocks like I do, but I really love the Glock handgun. It's a great setup. The sights acquire well. The triggers are good. The high cap mags for them actually work. The aftermarket parts availability is excellent. Aftermarket performance parts are both cheap and readily available and easy to install. Disassembly procedures are extremely simple, even all the way down to taking the gun down to the smallest piece. The disassembly procedures are extremely well thought out and simple, very easy for the average person to learn how to shoot. Okay, so a Glock 19 or other polymer frame semi-automatic pistol. If you don't really want to spend the money on a Glock, you can probably get by with something like one of the Smith & Wesson Sigmas. They're not bad guns. They're generally about 30% less than a Glock. If you want to get into a gun that is similar to a Glock for less money, I would look at the Sigma. But every American, every person in general needs to have some kind of semi-automatic 9mm. I can't stress that enough. You know, they're easy to shoot, cheap to shoot, and they're just great guns all around. Of course, no pistol collection is complete without some form of 1911. I'm a real big fan of the 45 ACP. I grew up shooting 1911s as a kid, and I continue to this day to shoot 1911s. This particular one is a Remington R1. It's a very, very nice setup, and this is Remington's first 1911 pretty much since World War II. I do have an early Remington Rand 1911 that belonged to my grandpa, and I still shoot it on a regular basis. But that particular gun, of course, is an original late World War I, early World War II era 1911. This particular one, of course, is a brand new current production 1911 that Remington's making now. Prices on these will generally range from around $5.25 to maybe the low $6s, depending on where you get them. Very nice setup, nice effective combat sights, good standard combat size beaver tail, regular old combat style hammer with interceptor notch. I just can't say enough good things about this gun. It's got a nice GI feel to it, which I think if you're only going to own one 1911, you definitely should just go with a good old standard GI style one. So 45 ACP, 9mm, 357/38 special, 22 LR. The next caliber in the number 5 slot, I'm a real big fan of carrying concealed, and I know a lot of people have different points of view as to how they treat concealed carry. I enjoy carrying small guns concealed when I'm out and about, especially if I want to dress light and don't want to have a lot of heavy clothing on to hide larger guns like a Glock 19. I'm a big fan of the Ruger LCP. I think this is a wonderful little gun. Yes, it is one more caliber to stock, but the 380 at combat ranges is definitely an effective cartridge. It will put a hurting on somebody big time. If you want to go with a small gun but you don't want to compromise on caliber, Diamondback makes their DB9, which I've yet to buy one of these, but for the size and weight of this gun, this is a wonderful pocket-sized gun. That is just a great setup. It's small, light, and handy, very easy to shoot, very easy to acquire the sights, and as a good little, just going to the food court type gun, you really can't go wrong with a small pocket auto. That would be my number 5 choice. In fact, I'm carrying right now the Beretta Minx. This is a very small gun, but when I want to carry something, but don't want to carry a full-size gun, I'll carry my Minx, which is a great little setup. I'm a big fan of the Beretta Minx. They make this in a 22 short, 25 ACP, and they also make a 21A and a 22 LR. Now that gun would serve as a nice little pocket gun. At point blank distances or at typical combat ranges, a gun like this we've already proven will definitely cause fatal wounds. You shoot someone in the right spot, it's going to really ruin their day. They are a little picky about ammo. They want to be kept clean generally, but you can't go wrong with a Minx. Load it, stick it in your pocket, and run with it. Or the LCP fits that bill just fine. So that's been my top 5 handguns that I think everybody should have. That rounds out everything real nice. Of course, this is not a complete list by any means. This is just what I would consider the bare minimal for those wanting to round out a nice collection of guns that are functional and serve that purpose generally across the board quite well. There's definitely many more that you can have. For instance, if you're into military pistols, you got to have a Mauser broom handle, of course. You got to have a Luger. You got to have a Walther P38. If you're really into that type of stuff, you got to have a CZ52, CZ82, Makarov PM. I mean, the list can go on when it comes to surplus. What I may do is do a separate video on surplus guns in general, just to let you guys know some of the surplus pistols that I think you just have got to have. But this is just the average stuff that most people are going to have access to, and in general the desire to own. I think the guns I've showed you are quite desirable and would round out any pistol collection quite well. So hopefully this video has taught you a little bit. If maybe you're new to the art of buying guns and shopping for guns, maybe this will give you an idea of some of your options, and just take it from someone that's been there and done it as to what I think a good, well-rounded out setup would be for you. So we'll have more of these videos coming, and they're going to range into some different subjects. For some of you that are really into serious gun collecting, maybe you'll glean some info on some of the ones that we'll be putting up in the future. But I've got some more stuff in the pipeline. We got more gun gripes on the way, and thanks for watching.